Good day. How are you? I have three things that I've been watching pretty closely, and I'm short on time today, so I'm going to get right with it. The first one is about our beef industry. Let me bring you this little snippet, and then we'll talk about it.
So much to get to with you, and I want to get your take first off on that prediction from the CEO of Omaha Steaks. What is meat going for right now? $4, $5 a pound? He's talking about $10.
Well, that's right. And I sure look forward to talking to him. I saw him on your show. We had it on in the office on Friday. I thought he was very well spoken. I do believe, though, that his forecast is not going to be correct. Of course, no one knows really. But the idea that we won't get prices down until 2027, I think there are a couple of important factors here, Maria. The first is this, that we are suffering from the last administration's literal war on cattle. If you remember, they wanted to reduce the herd sizes because they believed that cattle caused climate change. I mean, that wasn't that long ago that was sort of a common narrative. So lots and lots of issues there as we rebuild the herd based on the devastation of the last administration's policy. That's the first thing. The second thing is that there is no doubt, because of drought and that reason and others, that we are at a low herd size. Now, you marry that to the fact that we have an 8% increase in protein and beef demand in the market. People want more beef. It's extremely healthy. And as Secretary Kennedy and I move toward releasing the new dietary guidelines and pivoting a lot of the food, the government-run food supply, a lot through USDA, you're going to see even more and more demand for beef. Then on top of that, we've got the screwworm south of the border. So our ports have been closed almost since the late spring, where we haven't been moving about 1 million head of cattle across the border of Texas, New Mexico, and Arizona from Mexico. And again, you're in this perfect storm that we're in. But the Trump administration has released a new plan. We are moving toward opening up 5 million acres of grazing land. We're obviously at some point soon going to be reopening the borders. We've got screwworm under control south of the border. Still a couple more things before we get there, but we're getting close. And the president is hyper focused on this. So our numbers and our formulas are showing that prices will start coming down as soon as next spring, and certainly by summer and fall of next year.
Okay, so with that being said, I'm on the fence about this. Yes, I do realize that when we were under the Biden administration, they did try to get rid of our beef, our cattle, saying that under the guise of climate change, and actually, I'm going to be very crude, because of their farting, their gas, it's affecting our ozone layer. But not to mention, all these trucks and buses and just chemicals in general, they're going to pick on the cows, which doesn't make any sense to me. Which I do understand that we are reaping the benefits of what the Biden administration did. Look at the prices of our meat. $6, $7. Some, are up to $22 a pound. I'm not talking about chopped meat. I'm talking about, steaks and stuff like that. But in light of what President Trump is trying to do, lowering the tariffs, and he's trying to strike a deal with, I'm not going to give you the wrong information, another country. Why do I say Argentina? Why does that come to mind? I don't know. And maybe it's Argentina. To bring some beef into our country, and which is good for now, until our farmers begin to recoup their herds. I watched a lot of different farmers' point of views, and they said that that their herds have been diminished quite substantially. I was even watching this one farmer where they came in and they shut his whole farm down And he said it basically just ruined his livelihood, his family, which went down from generation to generation. And not to mention, that screwworm, which I think I did a video on. You have to go back through my videos about that screwworm that they were trying to stop over there in Mexico, which I think they have that under control now. Maybe because they closed the borders. I'm sorry. That's just, I had to say that. But yes, it is good that they're giving our farmers a chance to regroup and to get the babies grown up, because you can't have a full grown cow in a day, year and a half, to grow up a decent sized cow, and that's still young. But then you have to have herds. Like, it's going to have to be like a mass orgy almost. That's not the right word, but it is what it is. So, like I said, I do think it's good that we give our farmers a chance to regroup and to grow our herds. With that being said, I think that there should be a watchful eye on not allowing American farmers to go by the wayside, to be out competed by foreign countries. So, with that being said, I don't know. What do you think? Leave your thoughts in the comment. I'm back and forth on this. I'm glad that President Trump is doing something about lowering our beef. Although I don't eat it very much. I actually had lamb last night for the first time in 62 years. They goaded me into it last night. We went out to eat, and there was something called the lamb burger, and everybody's like, yeah, go ahead and try it. I'm like, okay. Yeah, I never turned down a dare. So I did, and I loved it. Oh my God, I loved it. It was really, really good. So, anyway, yeah, leave your comments. Let me know what you think about that. I'm on the fence. I'm just on the fence about that one. And I do have another little clip that I want to bring you. And it's in regards, once again, as always, immigration. And, all right, let me bring it to you and then we'll discuss it.
Exploration. But even when we talk about illegal immigration, there is a great debate that is being danced around. So first, the Trump administration says they are going after the worst of the worst. On the other side, Democrats and their media pals say that they're going after innocent people, and in some cases, even American citizens. That's patently false. No one is being deported as an American citizen, perhaps detained at times to determine immigration status. But if we take those two buckets, there is a third category, one where the real debate lies, one where the opinion of the American people and the existing laws of the United States matter, and that is illegal immigration. People who are here, whose only crime is, and it is a crime, but whose only crime is crossing our border illegally. I want to dig into this. Take a look. So here's a chart that shows, according to Pew, the number of illegal immigrants in the United States. You can see that it's grown significantly over the last 25 years, spiking, by the way, during the Biden administration. But here's the deal. We know these numbers are not accurate. The number of people here illegally is much larger than 14 million.
Pretty eye-opening, huh? I mean, look at your chart. Under the Biden administration, our opening of the borders was like opening Pandora's box. We just let massive amounts of people in. And I'm not talking just people, I'm talking about people from all over the world. We just let them in, all right? Willy-nilly. And we let them basically come in the illegal way, which whose fault is that now? If somebody says to you, if you come here, I'll give you this, this, and this, me as a person would say, well, that is a good idea. I'm really suffering in my country. Let me go over there. But were they lied to? Or, see, I'm playing devil's advocate here. Regardless, the end result is that they're here illegally. And yes, we are having a crackdown. We need to. We need to. Whether you're here illegally, just crossing the border, or illegally because you're just a no good piece of scum that came here to start trouble, you're here illegally. So let me bring you this other snippet and then we'll talk about that.
DHS told us this: 70% of those arrested by ICE have a known criminal history. 30% no known criminal history outside of border crossing. It's important to note that 70% can include any crime. It can include DUI, it can include traffic violations, but that is criminal. The question is still this 30%, because this number of illegal people in this country is incredibly large. And by the way, exploded under the Biden administration. You see, under the Biden administration, those illegal immigrants were called asylum seekers, and they were given temporary protected status. There's roughly 1.3 million of them, according to the government's data, that have temporary protected status. And they come from all over the world. Most of them, you'll remember, came from Venezuela or Haiti or El Salvador. But the question remains, for the American people, what do we do with the very, very large population of people in this country who are here, simply here illegally?
What do you think about that? 70% versus 30%. That's crazy. 70% of criminal illegals are in our country running around. 70%. Which leads me back to what I heard Trump say all the time. They emptied their jails. They emptied their insane asylums. They emptied their whatever just to get rid of their no good ne'er-do-wells to have them come over to here. They said, Biden's there. He's sleeping. Let's send him over there. He's sending a plane for him. Or what have you. I'm just saying. Let's send them over there. Why do we need them in our country? Why do we got to feed them? Let them feed them. 70% is freaking ridiculous. Like, stupid ridiculous. And, you know, in all reality, that 30%, sorry, you came here illegally. Whether you did anything wrong or not, in the eyes of the law, you're here. You did something wrong, no matter what. Even if you came here and you're thriving and you started your own business and you're doing well in the community, guess what? Let's go back to the beginning. From the minute that you walked from your soil to our soil, right there, illegally, you didn't do it the right way. Okay, so the bottom line is, go to hell back. Do it legally. Look how many families has done it the right way. And how many families of immigrants are thriving and raising their family and are great aspects to our country. Like I said time and time again, we're a melting pot. If you do it legally, stop taking shortcuts. because it's only going to bring you back to the beginning. Go back home. Don't pass go. Just keep on going. Go back to the beginning of the board and do it the right way. It might take you a while, but in the end, when you want something, it's not instantaneously. You have to work for it. And you'll only appreciate it more. And you won't have to worry about looking over your back. You won't have to worry about your children going to school or anything. You won't have to worry about anything. You're here legally. You have your papers in order. I need not say more on this. I mean, I have plenty of videos on people crossing the border illegally and so on and so forth. And it's something that I don't want to keep on harping on, but it's something that should be done the right way. Can't do it in any other country. You can't. Try it. See how fast your ass gets thrown back over the border, or worse. So with that, this leads me to my final little snippet, which really basically coincides with what I just spoke about. And Americans too. Nobody's out of the realm of what's going on with our government programs. So let me give you this one final snippet, and then I'd like to talk about it.
The Trump administration announces an overhaul of that program. You're requiring every SNAP participant to reapply as part of a crackdown on fraud. You pointed out data from 29 states showing 186,000 deceased individuals were still receiving benefits. 120 people under arrest for fraud so far. On top of that, New York requirements and a $186 billion budget cut also taking effect. So what? Somebody died and their heirs started receiving their SNAP benefits? Secretary, what happened?
It's just incredible. And, you know, within the first hour of me being sworn in February, this was one of my very first things that we did. We sent a letter to every state. We said business as usual is over. The status quo is no more. We know that the SNAP program is rife with fraud, but it's all anecdotal. This was last February, that we have no data. How is it true that the taxpayers through the federal government fund this $100 billion program every single year, but we don't even know whether it's being done correctly, what the accountability looks like? We want that data ourselves. As I mentioned, 29 states complied, mostly the red states. And what we have found since we started getting that data late spring of this year is just stunning. As you mentioned, 186,000 deceased individuals receiving benefits, 500,000 people getting more than two times the benefit. So they're getting it in one place and then they're getting it in another place. The same person. We found thousands of individuals that were getting benefits in 3 to 4, 5, 6 different states. I mean, it is one thing after another. And this is just from the red states. Can you imagine when we get through litigation and we get that data from California, New York, Oregon? We know under Biden, the program increased 40%. Of course, we believe they were trying to buy the election by pushing more and more money out without any accountability. So this is what we're trying to bring under control. And listen, we always knew it was going to be a really big deal. We knew that it was stunning what was happening. But what the shutdown did, that sort of unintended consequence of the Democrats shutting down the government over the last 43, 45 days, is that one of their favored programs is now in the eye of the average everyday American who says this is not okay. Go fix this. My taxpayer dollars should not be spent for this sort of fraud and abuse, and taking it out of the mouths of families that really need the program. There are vulnerable families in America that need this program that aren't getting it because of the fraud and the abuse that now we're going to work to fix.
Unbelievable. I mean,
Well, good morning. Wake up. Because now the investigation is on. And it's mind-blowing. Yeah. And the funny thing is, I tell you what, before I get into discussing this little snippet that I sent you, this was all under the Democrats push to somehow, some way blame the Republicans. Guess what? It backfired. Yeah, it did. And you got people who are dead on food stamps. I guess the dead have to eat too. Only not just brains, I guess. Maybe steak and lobster and what have you. And then you got people who are in how many different states claiming food stamps? How much food do you need? Or are you selling your food stamps? I wonder. So the jig's up. The jig is up. Thank God that I know it's going to be a hassle for those people who have trouble getting around and so on and so forth. But do I believe that they should reevaluate everybody on the food stamps program? Do I think that they all should reapply? I do. And I don't understand and I'm not sure about how the process is with food stamps when they recertify. Don't they recertify like every 6 months to a year? I mean, if somebody knows, please leave it in the comments. I don't know anything about that, but how do they recertify? And do they just go online and recertify? That's a mistake if they do, because any keyboard, keyboard cowboy, and recertify, bam, you're done. Whether it's 6 months or a year or what have you, shouldn't they have to go into the office and bring documentation? Shouldn't that have been a long time ago? How long has this been going on? Like, why? How did it get this far? That I'd like to know. But going forward, thank God, the new administration is making it so much harder for you little thieves out there to get away with what you're doing, which is a good thing. And like I said, I don't know anything about food stamps, but if you deserve them, you well should have them. If you don't deserve them, and you're in 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 states and getting them, and like that must be mega dollars being put out on one person. And not to mention all the dead people. They're not reaping the benefits. Well, maybe they are. Maybe they're zombies. I don't know. But, and all joking aside, who is continuing to get a dead person's food stamps? How low is that? How disgusting is that? That's crazy. That's not even in the realm of a sane person. That's evilness. Riding off the back of a dead person. God, where's the respect nowadays? Oh, unbelievable. I'm sick. I'm sick over it. I don't know what else to say. I mean, what do you guys think? What do you think about this whole situation? And I do have one more snippet. And I did report on this several times. I have several videos on this. The last one was, I don't know what state it was. I can't remember. My mind is like a sieve lately. With the illegal drivers, the CDL drivers, and how my last video was how they had a microphone, or I'm sorry, a microphone and a camera that was cut in their shirts. And the person was basically taking a test from them. I was sitting in a car. And now this snippet, I'll bring you this snippet and you tell me what you think about it. Here we go.
Fear could put you and your family at risk.
Yeah, so this image is right here. One of just several federal prosecutors say shows someone cheating on a truck driver license test right here in Milwaukee. Derek Rose leads us off with a federal investigation slamming the brakes on a conspiracy.
At first glance, these images may seem innocent, men sitting at computers focused on the screen. But the candid cameras snapping these shots are part of an FBI surveillance team inside local DMVs, gathering evidence of what a federal complaint describes as a network of individuals cheating in the process to obtain a commercial driver's license. Those are the licenses allowing a person to drive vehicles weighing more than 26,000 pounds in Wisconsin or carry hazardous material on our nation's highways and residential streets. According to court records, an informant tipped off the feds and explained how it works. The person at the computer is taking a test for a commercial learner's permit. What you cannot see, according to the informant, are the Bluetooth headphones under the test taker's turban, listening to the questions played through headphones over the turban. Someone outside the DMV who had passed the test previously would listen to the questions remotely and provide the test taker with the answer. The people taking the tests, according to the records, paid various amounts for the illegal assistance between June and December of last year at least 4 DMVs across the Milwaukee area.
And the feds filed charges against one person they say helped orchestrate the scheme, conspiracy, and wire fraud for the electronic payments for helping cheat on the exams.
I mean, Derek, these are stunning developments here. I've got to ask, did anyone actually obtain a full commercial license as a result of the cheating?
According to the records, no. The feds say the DOT was in on the investigation and had the computer system withhold the cheater's permit. They say none of the operations and the surveillance team witnessed resulted in a permit or a full commercial license being actually issued.
I just gotta laugh. I gotta laugh at the lengths that people go to get over on somebody. Like, don't you realize that you're gonna get caught? And to pay, you've seen those prices to pay for a CDL that you have no idea what the hell you're doing when you're getting behind that friggin' massive truck. You have no clue what you're doing. And if you notice, a lot of them have that towel on their head. For the lack of better words, I don't know what the hell they call it. With earpieces in. And again, somebody sitting somewhere outside giving them the answers. Really? Like, and thank God that the motor vehicles and the FBI was in on this and that they didn't get their CDLs. But how many of them before is still driving out there and has no clue what a clutch and a brake is? Has no clue how to switch a gear? Has no clue on how to read signs. It just baffles me. And we have people who are driving with their children and their mothers, their fathers, their brothers, their sisters, their families have no clue that that big tractor trailer behind them or that big tanker behind them has no clue what they're doing. And, you know, that's putting a whole new meaning on keeping your head on a swivel. Like, I know me personally, I'm constantly looking in my rearview mirror. By the time I get from point A to point B, my eyes are tired. I'm looking to the side. I'm looking to the other side. I'm looking to the front. I'm looking to the back. Because I don't trust anybody on the road. And as well as, here you go. That's the main reason why. You know, you got these people. And then they don't speak English to begin with. Okay, so really, it's just so sickening. I just hope that within these next 3 years, what have you, whenever Trump has the time left in the office and the administration really rides this down, that we get everything down to next to nothing. I mean, who knows? Hopefully, maybe J.D. Vance will run when Trump's done. Maybe he'll get into the office and the work will continue. Or somebody who will follow in his footsteps, because we need to have America straightened out. We are in a shithole of trouble if we don't. It's scary. It's really scary. From the food to the food stamps to the driving to the cattle to the I can't even fathom anymore. I just can't. It's crazy. I don't know. What do you guys think about all this? I just brought you a little bit that was on my mind and I had to look it up because I'm constantly thinking, what is going on now? What is happening now? And what else is going to happen? God, knock on wood. What else is going to happen? What else are they going to think up? How to steal our air? Oh, wait. Our air's polluted thanks to chemicals. I'm not even going to go there. I'm done with it for the day. I've had enough already. I'm exhausted. It's crazy that I sit in my house and I get exhausted of all the shenanigans and shit, excuse my language, that's going on out there. Talk about anxiety. It's craziness. This alone causes you anxiety. I can feel my heart right now like this, just by bringing this to you. Like, what the F? Shut the front door already. Stop. Oh, my God. I'm going to let you guys go. I have a lot to do. Yeah, I saved half of my lamb burger because I didn't want to eat it all. It was so good. I'm like a little leprechaun. I cut things in half and put them away because I wanted to taste it again like the next day, especially if I like it. It was good. For anybody who never had lamb, try it once. Oh, it took me 62 years. And I love it. Oh my goodness, do I love it. But anyway, leave your comments because I hear my dog going off again. As always, I think he knows when I'm doing a video. Let me know what you think about these few little things I brought you. And I'll talk to you again. And I'm going to say it once again. Please be safe out there. It's a crazy, crazy world out there. And again, I'm going to tell you, one of these days, I might not have to say that to you. That I'll just have to say, have a good day. And I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.